Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video for you all today. So today I bring you guys loot from 10 hours of organized crime. To be more specific, it's tackling organized crime. This is a mini game which players help the Shazian soldiers, as you can see, starting over here at the captain. And what you're going to be doing in this mini game is you're going to be raiding gang meetings in order to keep order in Great Corinne. Now you do have to have 40% Shazian favor to do this, and all you have to do is talk to Captain Guinea, and then you'll notice a notice board which is located in the same tent as him, and you just click on that and it'll tell you the location and how many minutes until the gang starts their meeting. As you can see here, my first meeting that I infiltrated was upstairs in the Arceus General Store. There are so many different locations located around Zaya where these meetings can be held, but usually if you sort your worlds, I was just sorting them by total level. So for example, I would start at 353 and then I would just go to the next 1250 total world, then 1500 and so forth up to 1750. So it's all in order, and usually if you found one meeting in one world, it would be the same exact meeting in the next 3 worlds. So in other words, you can fill up your inventory really quickly by killing these gangsters and these gang bosses, because you're just going to be hopping worlds as soon as the meeting wraps up, as soon as you're done at killing them all, and you have 5 minutes from that time to kill as many gangsters and gang bosses in these worlds as you can before the meeting ends. Once the meeting ends in 5 minutes, all the gangsters will disappear, and you just have to go back to the notice board, hop around each world until you find another meeting taking place, and just work with what's best for you. That's kind of how I did things, and I was always encountering meetings. Very rarely was I ever standing around for more than 5 minutes just waiting for one to start. So hopping worlds is incredibly helpful here. As it goes for my gear choice, at first I was bringing Graceful because I thought I was going to be running around a lot, but honestly, you're not going to be running around too much, especially if you have a Book of the Dead charged. That will get you just steps away from most of these locations where you can find these meetings, and for the actual fight, you're going to be getting attacked by quite a lot of gangsters, and of course the gang boss. One of the gang bosses does range attacks, so make sure to pray range on that. But other than that, I just bring full bandos as well as my Fang, and it works out pretty well. Usually I only need 1 Divine Super Combat Potion, 1 Stamina, and 1 Prayer Pot, but honestly most of the time I don't even use the Stamina or the Prayer Pot, so it's just kind of something to keep in mind based on your combat level. As it goes for the drops here, it's pretty unique. You can actually get a Rune Scimitar, which is 1 in 80, and that is from the gangsters and the gang bosses. You can also get full black armor, this being the chain body, the med helm, and the plate skirt, along with the scimitar. The only runes you can expect here are Cosmic, but it is a quantity of 30 to 60, so that's not too bad. And you can get a Quarm, Cadentine, Dwarfweed, and Lantidime herb, as well as a ton of planks, which is I think the best thing that these are known for as it goes for their drops. You can get upwards of 20 noted oak planks, 10 noted teak planks, and 8 mahogany planks noted, as well as up to 16 gold bars noted. I'm not sure why, but they also have compost on the drop table, 40 to 80 of those, and then just a bunch of coins, and of course the occasional hard clue scroll. That hard clue is 1 in 65, only from the gang boss though. And then you have the one drop that is untradeable, and this is the intelligence, which is obtained from gangsters and the gang boss during one of their meetings, and you can trade these in for a training manual, which is a part of this minigame, and you can use that on any combat skill in order to get a lot of XP in it, which I chose defense for this video. Now it is calculated based on your level. I'll leave the whole calculation in the description below if you want to check this out and actually do this yourself. I was 99 defense, so I was getting the most defense XP you can get from these training manuals, but if you're like 70 or 80 defense, you can definitely expect a lower number. It really just depends on your level. So yeah, I was really enjoying cashing in all of this XP, as well as just seeing the overall GP that I was making from killing all these gang bosses and gang leaders. It was a lot of fun. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it was something way different than what I usually do, but I really do enjoy mini games, and this is one that isn't really talked about that much. As you can see in this clip, I was covering the 2K total worlds. That was how I was sorting all of my worlds, and as soon as I would kill everything in the room, I would just hop on as soon as I could to the next world in line, and then they would still be there because it would be the same exact spawn. It's not like this all the time. It's just like it when I guess they have a certain spawn and a certain rotation of worlds. There's also a little formula for that too, but I really don't understand the wording of it on the wiki, so again, that'll be in the link in the description below. But yeah, organized crime, definitely a fascinating thing. Didn't think I'd ever be doing it in RuneScape. It's actually one of the things that I kind of watch a lot of and read up on quite a bit outside of RuneScape, kind of a hobby of mine. So if you're interested in the same type of thing, feel free to check the description as well. I'll throw in a playlist that I've been building for quite a few years related to organized crime. It was definitely big in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, but then cameras and wiretaps became a thing, and then the RICO Act, and then it kind of went away. But I still hear it is around today, just kind of much smaller than it ever used to be. But those 5 families in New York are still thriving, I guess. You know, I used to live in Jersey for about a little less than a year, and I went to Little Italy a few times. Ate at the famous restaurant where Joe Gallo got shot and all that. So, you know, I kind of had my moments there, and it was definitely a cool area, but I wonder what it was like decades ago. Apparently, it was a lot different. So, you know, much different these days, though. All right, well, that's enough about me. So, yeah, as we're just going on with this video, a lot of drops adding on to the bank, and sometimes I would use a notepad document to write down some certain worlds that there'd be a meeting in 9 minutes versus a meeting in like 4 minutes. Sometimes I'd even track a world where there'd be a meeting in 19 minutes, and then I'd have a meeting to go to 3 times in a row at the current point, so I'd keep track of the other worlds so that I could get as many as I could in 1 hour, because this is a 10-hour loot video, and I don't want to be sitting around like I was in the very first meeting. I didn't even know what to do, and it took me like 20 minutes to understand the whole concept of this, but after that, it was really easy to actually learn and strategize, you know, finding all the worlds and all the gang leaders and gang members. This is also a really good thing to do to get your Shazian favor up to 100. I didn't do this method. I think I killed the lizard shamans, which is like the slowest thing to do, but this is definitely the way to go if you at least have 40% in the favor, just because killing the gang bosses and the gang members increases your favor by a lot. So you'll have Shazian done in no time, and if you're a lower level, maybe you're an Iron Man struggling for planks, you can definitely continue to kill these gang members and track down the worlds very easily, and in no time you'll have 50, 60 construction banked. I mean, it's definitely better than picking up the plank spawns in Barbarian Outpost, which is what I did for 50 construction on my Iron Man. And now that I think about it, I think I understand why these gangsters drop compost now. It just came to me, so yeah, shout out to you if you understood why before I did. But yeah, overall, this was a fun video to make. On the side, I comfortably killed water fiends for 10 hours on my Iron Man. Did both of these videos and finished them both at the same time, so you guys will see water fiends tomorrow, and then you guys are going to see another Barrows video, this time done on the Iron Man, and he's got 0 collection log slots filled, so that'll be a very exciting one. I hope you watch it. And just another thank you guys for the continued support. New month, and we are going strong. It's April, so you know, awake all April. I haven't really come up with a catchphrase for April yet, but we can definitely come up with one probably easily since it starts with an A. So you let me know if you have any ideas in the comment section below, as well as if you have any minigame ideas. I know a lot of people have been saying do 10 hours of Barbarian Assault for the high gambles. I can definitely do that, but if you have anything else that you want to see, let me know, and I can definitely get started on that. I'd love to do some more minigame videos. I kind of got all the PKing energy out of me, and now I'm sort of just slowly dipping my way back into PVMing, and eventually we're going to use all those Slayer points that I obtained a few days ago for the next Ending in 0 video, so that's still to come. But yeah, really just trying to pump out these 10-hour videos as of right now. Got the coffee, and we're going strong on probably another 14-hour day today, so I'm going to get a lot done. And organized crime is probably the one video that stands out the most that I've done recently. Never really saw myself doing a video on this because I didn't know how good it was. I think without the experience books, the drops would kind of make this a little bland, but since you can get so much melee XP while doing this, as we're definitely going to calculate at the very end on how many books that I receive versus multiplied by all the XP that I receive per book. So we'll definitely see the hourly rate of XP that you can get, even if you are 99 defense already. It is kind of interesting to see just from a mini game how much experience you can get an hour, as well as profit. Plus, I really am glad that they added clue scrolls onto the drop table, because that's just, you know, a little bit more excitement to wait for at the very end. I had so many training manuals at this point in the video. Every time I would cash them in, it would be over 10, so I would hold down number 3, so that way it would just direct all of my books towards my defense XP, and it would save me a lot of time. And for the first time ever on my account, my defense XP finally went over my attack XP. For the longest time, defense was my lowest XP melee skill, and now it overtook attack because of all these experience books, and we still have 4 hours left to go, so we're going to be getting tons more. I wonder if unique accounts, you know, like 10 HP accounts or just strength build accounts can be doing this activity to get better XP an hour than they would if they were training. I'm really not too sure, because you still have to kill all the gangsters and the gang leader for the instruction manual in order to get this XP. XP. So I don't know if certain accounts would do this, but I really didn't run into many people while doing this activity. I think I only ran into 2 guys, and one of them was a low level with a dragon scimitar. The other one was around 100 combat with a trident, and a trident seems to work pretty good against these gangsters. But we ended up stealing each other's kills, so I just hopped worlds. But yeah, not many people really doing this activity this late in the game, I'd imagine. This was actually released in 2016, which is insane if you think about it. January 7th, 2016. And yeah, the meeting locations can be anywhere in Zeah, as I said before. It can be in Arceus, as well as Hasidius, Lovakinj, and of course the Port Pisk area, as well as a few Shazian locations, and about 6 locations that are just considered others, so you know, a little bit outside of those 4 cities. But having the Book of the Dead that I actually had to recharge twice throughout this video, and bringing a stamina potion if you're a little bit lower agility, this will make sure that you're able to reach all of these locations, and you just have to make sure that it coincides with the wiki link that I'll be leaving in the description below. Thankfully, they provide a picture of the exact place that you need to be standing in order for these meetings to spawn and happen, so that you don't miss them. It is easy to sometimes get confused of certain locations. So yeah, make sure to check the links in the description if this is interesting to you, and that will definitely help you out while you're on this grind. Alright, well, with all that being said, a loot from 10 hours of organized crime, tackling organized crime, I should say, has been completed. Let's go ahead and finish up this hard clue scroll, and then we will do the price check. So here we have the price check. We ended up with 12 rune scimitars, almost 30 to 40 sets of full black armor, a little bit of herbs, over 2,000 oak planks, a lot of teaks and mahoganies as well. And I did kill 160 gang bosses and 935 gangsters in 10 hours, with the overall loot coming out to be just over 4 million GP. I also obtained 357 intelligence pieces, which gave me 890,000 defense XP, which is incredible, which means that's close to 90k defense XP an hour, as well as 400k GP. And now it's time for the clue scrolls. Alright, some pretty average rewards so far, but to my surprise, I did get a master clue, so we'll go ahead and grab that casket and back to the hards. Here we go. We are approaching 1100 hard clues. I did receive a Zamorak full helm, which is about 430k. I typed out that it was a new collection log, but I didn't get the drop down, so I might have been wrong on that, so ignore me there. But yeah, overall, 3 more hard clues to go. Should be reaching 1100 hards in the next loot video, I imagine, if there's hard clues involved in it somehow. And from our master clue, after receiving 1.6 mil from the hards, an additional 400k from the master. So you're looking at about 2 mil extra from the clue scrolls, plus, you know, over 4 mil from the video itself, and a lot of defense XP. I would consider this a success. There's the RuneLite loot tracker, and yeah, it was definitely a great experience. So a huge thank you to you guys for watching today's video. Big thank you to the YouTube channel members, with a special shout out to Matthew Stivers and SwanPositive. Feel free to check out those links in the description below, especially if you're a fan of organized crime. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you tomorrow with some Water Fiends. Mr. No Sleep, out.